Okay, so here we are with Carolyn Clark of Heavenly Sunset Alpaca Farm. Carolyn, thanks so much for joining us. I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to have you here. Is it a beautiful sunny day where you are today?
Yes, it is. And the temperature is perfect compared to the rest of the week.
What about if you're an alpaca? Is it hot if you're an alpaca? Do they get hot over
Uh,
the summer?
Definitely. Yeah, we have lots of fans running at the barn. Now today I see them out some because it's cooled more, but they are very heat bothers them a lot.
Heat bothers them.
Yeah.
So you and I were talking a little bit about how it's been for you since the pandemic started. And I think that in the spring is really when you're starting to go into farmers markets and be able to start selling your products. How has that
Right.
gone for you?
It hasn't been good. I was talking to Allison about that. No, we've only gone to, well, the pandemic started in mid-March, and we were in a winter farmers market then that began in November, and that was to go to the end of March. And we do quite well then. Of course, that's in Corning also inside, and we do well there because of Christmas, and all that. And we do okay January, February, March, but we didn't in March because it was starting to get scary, I guess is the best word to say. In fact, my tables are still in the information center in Corning, locked up.
You left them there?
I didn't get time. I mean, it's like it closed down like in the middle of a week, and I left my things there. But now we go to the outdoor market in Corning. It goes from June 4th until the end of October. And that's usually really good for us because of tourists. The Corning Glass Center. Corning Incorporated is closed down, and so is the Glass Center. So we've only gone a couple of weeks. The first week we didn't go. It started the first week in June, and we've gone 2 weeks. Last week was not good.
And what are you selling when you go to the farmers market?
Well, we sell everything made from alpaca. Most
socks and
socks, and you want me? I'll show the. Sure. Let me show it. I'll show you around a little bit so you can get an idea. I picked up my computer. I've never done this before, so I hope I don't lose you or something.
That's okay. We're right here with you.
Here's an idea, except I'm not getting it. Why?
You've got it there. You're showing us. Okay, so there's
gloves for one. We send in hats. Get the hat rack, and then of course I have clothing. And this is an interesting product right here. These are called bird nesting ornaments. We call them. Birds take the fleece from the ornament, line their nest with it. Keep their babies warm. Wow. And that is all fleece from our animals. Everything on this product, on this table is made from our product. We get yarn people, I have people that do crocheting for me. Like here's a basket of yarn.
Mm-hmm.
And we take all this to, and then socks, lots of socks. We take all this to the farmers markets.
There we go. We're back.
Yeah. Well, we moved outside.
Well, perfect. Maybe the internet service will be better for you out there.
The Wi-Fi is in the house, and this was my shop, which is away from the house.
I understand. That makes sense. Well, it was wonderful to get to see all of your products. And so I was remembering that you told me you take the yarn and you send it somewhere to be produced, right? Or you just send the raw product?
I don't take the yarn. I take fleece and get yarn made, and then I have people that make product from the yarn. I also sell yarn, but the majority of my products come from the New England Fiber Pool. They're in Fall River, Massachusetts. They took over, their alpaca farmers who decided they needed to do more than just have the alpaca business. So they took over some of the closed woolen mills in Fall River, and they have a huge business going now. So I send a lot of our fleece to them, and I get back socks and gloves and scarves and hats. Most everything you saw that when we showed you the product comes from them. So I get it back wholesale.
And so you get it back wholesale. Has there been a stall with that during the pandemic? Has there been any?
Oh yeah, I'm not selling. We went to the farmer's market last Thursday, which we'll go again tomorrow, and we took in $50. And that's
Last Thursday.
yeah, with alpaca products, that's nothing. I mean, each product, socks are any place from $15 to $25 a pair, and of course the scarves and everything are a lot more. I sell the bird nesting ornaments, which I was starting to describe to you, where the birds take it out and line their nest with it. I sell those, and I have dryer balls. The mill in Prattsburg makes dryer balls for us, and I sell them. And that's anytime people can use, they need to wash their clothes. And the dryer balls work really good. They take the place of dryer sheets. And they wick the moisture too, so that speeds up the drying time.
You were telling me a story about your husband. He was out working and it was really hot, and you said he was wearing his alpaca, or he was wearing some other socks, and then he decided to switch into his alpaca socks. What was that story?
They wick the moisture, and so they keep people. It's hard for people to believe. You got to get them on their feet. Once you get them on their feet, they're sold. He was working up here on the hill. I think he was tedding hay, and I happened to be here in the shop, and he came off the hill and he said, "I have got to have my alpaca socks on." He had on cotton socks, and his feet were sweating so bad. So if I was in the shop, I'd show you the pair of socks he put on. You'd think, oh man, your feet you'd cook with them. You don't, because they wick the moisture. So he wears alpaca socks year round, especially the dress socks, because they're lighter in weight.
And so then the profit that you make, you buy this back wholesale from the folks that produce the products.
Yep.
And then you sell it at farmers markets, and the profit that you make from that, then you spend that on feed for your alpacas, right? You spend that on
and memberships, and we belong to several alpaca organizations, like the National Co-op, and we also belong to the it's called MAPACA, Mid-Atlantic Alpaca Association of Mid-Atlantic States, and they have a large show in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, annually. I think that one is still going to happen. The big one that we take our fleece to, because the people from New England pick up there, is in Syracuse in the spring. Well, that got canceled. But I think, and then there's a huge show in New England. Can't remember for sure what, it's in Massachusetts, but they didn't have their show. So they're hoping for and planning for a really huge show, almost a week long, in Harrisburg in the end of October, well, the 21st that week. So we're hoping for that.
How many alpaca do you have?
40.
And how much yarn does that produce, for example? Like how much are you generating in a year?
Oh man, you're talking about pounds of fleece?
I don't know. I mean, I'm just trying to get
pounds of the prime fleece. The prime fleece is the best. That's what they call their blanket. It's from the base of their neck to the base of their tail, and that is their best fleece. And it's getting so, and the legs, top of the legs, they call that seconds. And some products are made from that. And then they used to have thirds, which is the junk. And now the New England Fiber Pool makes felt insoles and we get them back for your boots or shoes, because they wick the moisture and they're comfortable. But the prime now is basically what they focus on, because the products have become the quality has become so much better in all the products. Is that noise bothering you?
It's okay. It's okay.
It's the gas company working on a gas well out here behind the house. I don't know
Oh
what
my goodness.
I don't know what they're doing. I've never heard it before.
Oh my goodness. So what do the alpaca eat?
We feed them grain, which is what I use the money that I generate from the shop to buy their feed. We buy grain, about $300 worth of grain a month. And then we feed them that once a day because our pastures are not good at all. They're really overgrown and now they're weedy and they really need grain. And we also feed them hay, lots of hay. It has to be first cutting hay, or excuse me, second cutting hay, so it's tender because they don't have teeth on the top. They only have teeth on the bottom.
Alpaca only have teeth on the bottom?
Yep, they have it's a dental plate, like they call it. And they chew against that, but there aren't teeth. The back, they have molars, so once they get it chewed up enough, then they chew it in the back, but they don't have teeth on the top.
And do you have do you get baby alpaca in the summer, in the spring?
We used to have lots of them, but then because we've got a herd that's too large for us, and we haven't been able to sell them. And of course now they're getting older. I think our youngest, we have one baby. I was talking to Allison about it. We have one baby that is still here from some people that bought alpacas a couple years ago and had them bred. And she was born a year ago this month. They've never taken them, and I'm not sure they're going to. We gave them to them for a really, really good price.
So if you could think of one thing that would help out, if you could think of one thing that would help you as an alpaca farmer right now, getting through this coronavirus period where your ability to sell your product has really been cut back, and then that's creating sort of a supply chain problem all the way down the road for you. What would be one thing that could help alleviate this for you right now?
There really isn't anything except sales. I mean, there's no.
Because you have the product, you have the stuff to sell.
I have about a $25,000 inventory in there right now of what I paid for it. I mean, that's not,
and so you need to figure out a way to get your products to people who want to buy them. I mean, if we could just figure out a way to match you up with people who want to buy them, because the farmers market situation is slowly coming back, but not for you.
That's our best place to sell in the summertime and in the fall, and it's because it's in Corning and it's connected with the tourism a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not happening. The other thing, we go to several events, like in Christmas time, we go to Dickens of a Christmas in Wellsboro, and we do very well there. We've done there over about 12 years. So every year it gets better because it's repeat customers. And everyone comes to Wellsboro from all over. I mean, there are thousands of people descend on Wellsboro that weekend. So we always do well there. And then we go to other events where people have vendors, like downtown here, Community Day, and things like that.
You're very energetic, Carolyn. You're out there finding all these opportunities for yourself. I just
running out of energy. I'm 78.
It's really extraordinary, all these opportunities that you're out there independently finding for yourself. And it seems to me that this is a solvable problem, that we as a community, as a region, should be able to figure out a way that industrious folks like you who have all this product backed up, that we can get this to market. There's got to be a solution there.
I have faith, I guess you want to say, because people like the product, and once they have some money, they don't mind spending it on it. And especially tourists. The tourism thing is really, we're here in the country, so we don't have a lot of people come to my shop, but a lot of people that have tried the products and they want more, they come. You know, we're open for anytime anybody wants to.
Well, and in my experience with alpaca socks, once you try them on, you're sold. Like
That's
this is
what happened to my husband with his coming off the hill with his cotton socks. You know, he wears them year round. I had my sister who's passed now, but she wore them 24 hours a day, year round, because her feet were cold at night. And in the daytime, they wick the moisture, so your feet they're both warm and they also wick the moisture, so you don't sweat. It's an amazing product. It really is.
It is an amazing product, and it's an amazing amount of work that you're doing to generate this product, taking care of the animals and you know, protecting and feeding them all through the year, and then getting the wool and sending it off to Massachusetts and having it produced into products and then marketing those. That takes a long time to get it from your alpaca to socks.
Well, my son and daughter-in-law do the majority of the farm work, as far as, you know, the chores and I try to help with the housekeeping at the farm, with the barn, because they both have full-time jobs and housekeeping can't be a priority to them. So I try to do that as much as I can. Like I was cutting thistles after the other day.
That's bigger housekeeping than most people think of when they think of housekeeping. Cutting thistles is hard work.
That was. Had a few little bruises on my arm where one fell on me. They were just pricker bruises, you know.
Well, listen, I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us about your alpaca farm, and I hope very much that we can get some attention to this concern of farmers like you who are doing all of this extraordinary work, and then we just have to figure out a way to link up our farmers with people who want to buy their products.
Right. No, I'm not alone. Not far from us, there's another alpaca farm just into Pennsylvania, and I'm sure they're going through the same thing we are. In fact, they bought one of their animals from us to start with. And I know she has a small shop, and they go to events and sell and like that. And of course, the events are not happening. So once things get back to somewhat normal, the product is a product that once someone's tried it, they like it. It's getting them to try it sometimes. It's difficult. But once someone buys them, you have repeat customers.
That's good to know. That's good to know. Well, let's figure out a way to get them so that more people can buy them. Well, we got to figure that out.
Yeah, we do. I don't know if Trump can help us or not. Somebody's got to help.
Somebody's got to help. Somebody's got to help. Well, listen, Carolyn, I really appreciate you taking the time to tell us about your alpaca farm and tell us about Heavenly Sunset and your animals. And I loved getting to see all the products. That there was a cape, and there were the balls for the birds, and the socks, and all of it. Thank you very much for taking the time to share all of that with us.
Well, thank
you. I hope that folks will take a moment to go find Heavenly Sunset Farm and buy some alpaca socks from you, because they truly are spectacular.
Yeah, we're in Woodhull. People know that. We're
in Woodhull,
New York. Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Carolyn. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate your time too.
Take care.
Bye.